Well, folks, it's a Saturday morning, and you're watching a video. So it must be another Inside the Stash. Yes, it's that time to review the things that have been purchased in the past month-ish. Month-ish. So we got in a shipment directly from LB Production. We received a few decal sheets in from one of my old pre-coronavirus, pre-Rona favorite vendors, and then we also got in our April kits and accessories from Hobbyland Japan. So, just hop right on into what we have here. Big box from Hong Kong, from LB here. It's going to have a bunch of decals and accessories for the Ford Sierra 4x4 rally car that D Model Kit did. So a bunch of the stuff was ordered as sets. And what I mean by that, if you're not familiar with LP Productions website, they will oftentimes offer their accessories as a package with their decals. You can order just the decals, or there'll be a drop-down menu. You can order also the decals, or in the case of a lot of these rally cars, it's also the decals, also the wheels, also the mirrors, also the roof vents, because several of the decal sheets have a different shaped vent, a roof vent, than the kit comes with, and we'll show you that in a little bit here as we go through the decal sheet. So in the 3D printed realm of things, I picked up this set of roof vents for the Ford Sierra. It comes with a set of square and a set of trapezoidal vents. Very nice clean 3D prints. I'm not gonna, I won't lie to you, I filmed this once already and had to refilm it, so I should have had this stuff out, but I did not. Anyway, there's one set each of the square and one set of the trapezoidal. You can see, obviously, the difference between the two. And that's enough to do 2 cars worth, as obviously you're just using one set of vent per roof. So that's pretty cool. It's a, cheap, relatively speaking, accessory to really sort of detail out one of these rally cars if you're going to do one of these alternative liveries. Also offered are these mirrors. These are sort of the regular Ford Sierra mirrors. You can see it has on here standard style. The kit comes with sort of like cup mirrors, for lack of a better term. If you're familiar with racing, where the mirrors are just tucked right on the side of the car for aerodynamics. These are the actual mirrors that came with the Ford Sapphire street car, the actual factory mirrors. And they are used on a few different liveries. And these, again, are nicely 3D printed. If I can just avoid dumping them all over the floor, it'd be super awesome, which I managed to actually do. You see here they're very cleanly cast. Again, 3D prints. Only little, maybe run that a piece of sandpaper that real quick. Make sure that edge is square, as to keep it from sticking off the side of the car at all. But otherwise, these are clean, very clean, very clear. Very minimal print lines, if any, can be seen. So a very nice printer that Lau has over there. I'm not sure which kind it is. I keep meaning to ask him. But he gets these awesome peach-colored resin prints that are just really, really detailed in terms of their quality. And we got 2 sets of those mirrors for various projects. And then we have these wheels. These are techno-magnesic wheels for a couple of different liveries here we're going to show you. We have 2 of them that are going to use these wheels, so that's why we have 2 sets of them. Anytime I see aftermarket parts, I order the number of sets of wheels I'm going to need for a given set of decals. That way I don't have to try to go back and find them at a later date. So let's take out 2 wheels and a turbofan. So the wheels have a tire valve in them, which is nice. Nice individual hub detail in there on the 4 lug nuts. And then the front wheels have these sort of casting marks left in them, because you are going to cover them with these aero discs, and you won't see them. So I'm going to put this one down, and we'll focus on just this one. And there are some other resin turbofan techno magnesio wheels out there. However, none of them have the correct turbofan face in them, which is what this is, where you can see the lug nuts and the wheel hub through the actual turbofan, and that's a pretty important feature. From a detail aspect, you can see the profile you get there. And like I said, these snuggle down on there real nice and tight, and you are all set to go. I have to rotate this around here, because they actually, like I said, they're designed to fit the wheels, so you have to find the lug nut. There we go. Just find the lug nuts so they actually fit correctly. But yeah, these will be front wheels on these cars, as you'll see here in a second. We got, like I said, got 2 sets of these as well. Again, very nice 3D prints. And like I said, the front ones have a little bit of gook in the rim there, but those are just to sort of call out which ones are the front rims, because again, they're covered by the turbofans, so the little extra trash in them, if you so to speak, is not in anything, because you're not going to see it. So one of the sets that does use these Techno Magnesio is this one, and we're going to drill in here. Well, that's too far, he said after a second. So this is the 24-hour rally 1992 winner for the Bastos racing team. As you can see, it's obviously a tobacco livery, and it has the Techno Magnesio wheels on it. It's got the turbofans on the front, and then you'll see right here, it's got these trapezoidal style, maybe you can see it's got some glare in it there, the trapezoidal style roof vents as well. So that gives you the whole shebang there. It also has the regular style mirrors. So use all of the little extra parts on that one. And yeah, it's a pretty cool decal sheet. It's got a set of masks included in it as well to help mask off this front curve on the hood and front fender. So that's a nice touch. Bumpers are separate on these cars, so painting the front bumper partially red, not that big of a deal and stuff like that. But that hood, that little U-turn on the hood there, it's a little bit not intuitive, I would say. There's a painting guide here behind the decals, so you can see exactly what you're supposed to paint, what you're not, and what the decals will cover. And yeah, so there's that one. Then you have this set for the Rizla team and the Olymp van Vlaanderen 1992 winner, rally winner, right? This one needs square roof vents. This blue is the same color blue as used in the, I have to look at this box every time I film this, because I can never remember what the sponsor is. Q8 Oils. This is one of the 4 team cars from 1991 that was repurposed later on. They ran like 3 of them at the Monte Carlo rally, and then only ran 2 cars for the rest of the year, so there was a spare car they sold off. This one uses the turbo vents that come in the kit with the Oz wheels that are in the kit, so that pretty much sums that up. This only has 1 mirror, which I think is pretty interesting. Apparently we don't care if the navigator can see what's behind us. He should be paying attention to navigating what's in front of us. This is kind of a unique livery, because it's got a Coca-Cola banner on one side and a Carrier style door placard on the other. All the yellow on this is on the decal sheet, so all I got to do is paint it blue. Very cool. And then we have the Boxy Rally team, the Rally de Condros winner for 1992. And this is a pretty cool livery. I just like the overall look of it. Now this one has the rectangular roof vents, and these are the ones that come with the kit. So no additional things needed here. Again, with just the 1 mirror thing going on. And this is another case where all of the blue is on the decal sheet, and then everything else, you just paint it yellow, and you're down the road with that one. And we have the Rally de Portugal 1993. I'm not sure where this car finished. I'd have to look that up. And this is the Fagor Electro Domesticos and a Mobile 1 livery with a little bit of a red thing. You do, again, have the paint call out in the background here, which will give you the proper color for the red, as well as telling you what you have to paint red. There are masks for the front and rear. If you look at this, the front bumper and the rear bumper have pretty specific looking shapes to the masking, so it gives you the mask tape for those. Very nice. The red on the hood, those curves are in the decal sheet, so you don't have to necessarily worry about trying to get that done right, because that's already done for you. This spat down here before the the rear wheel rather, that's on the decal sheet as well. So yeah, pretty nice to have, like I said, the mask and the paint call out sheet. And the last one is this one from the Riley Duvar. It's a Rothman's car, obviously. This one again using square roof vents, and I think I might need to order another set of roof vents. Now that I'm looking at this, I think I might have ordered one roof vent set too little. But you got the Rothman's full striping package here. The gold and the red, the blue already on here, so all you gotta do is paint it white. And then your Rothman's wording is up here, all in one piece. Your Rothman's globe for the hood, and this being gold and everything like that. You just have to, like I said, just paint it white, and you're again off to the races with this one. And yeah, this one also uses the Techno Magnesia wheels, so that's what the other set of those wheels are for this car. And I think this car also, nope, this one uses the Kit Rally mirrors. There's one other one in here that uses the regular style mirrors, so I must have missed this going by. But anyway, that's what we got from LB Productions. Now, I've not obviously built any of the two kits I already have with the factory liveries that I kind of want to build, but yeah. One thing that I completely forgot about, and I just realized I'm just ending this thing without going into it a second time, but Lau had a thing where he had a 3D printed figure of himself made, and these were sold towards the end of April. I think it might have actually been April 1st for an April Fool's Day joke, but you could buy these 3D prints of him, and the proceeds from them were going to a no-kill cat shelter in Hong Kong. I'm obviously, with hobby cats running amok at all times, pretty much a cat guy, although we do have a 125-pound lab, so also a dog guy, but the cats obviously make video much more often since they can come downstairs, and the dog is scared of those basement steps and will not come down here. He'll come in the basement if you lead him around the house, but he won't go down the steps, which is cool because I don't have to worry about anything disappearing from my dog chewing on it. But that being said, it's a little 3D print of him. Comes with a little tiny set of Team Lotus decals, because this is a Team Lotus jacket that he's wearing in this on this print. I was gonna say it's not focusing. It's not on autofocus. There we go. So yeah, you got a little couple things there you could throw on his jacket, and it does stand up. So my thing has been telling him was I'm just gonna sort of set it off here to the side, and oops, oh no, you fell down, and he can watch me not build models. So he thinks I should paint it up and make it watch me build models, but that sounds like effort 2 times over. But like I said, I got this when this box came in. This was in here with, as you can see, just a thank you on it, and I was like, oh, you're welcome. What did I do? I completely and totally forgot that because it was just for a good cause. All right, it was like, you know, I'll donate to a shelter. That's a good cause. And then I forgot all about the fact that I ordered them in the first place. So that was pretty amusing to me. Your mileage may vary. So from Media Mix over in Singapore, one of my favorite pre-coronavirus vendors. They always have out of production decals. I don't know where they get them from, where they store them, if they're in a Disney vault and they get brought out every once in a while. But you know, that's sort of like my download secret for finding decals sometimes, is going there as a last resort. They were closed, obviously, because of COVID. And then Singapore had some pretty stringent restrictions about letting people from outside of Singapore onto the island. And that meant there were no commercial flights for a very, very long time. Last spring, I think it was, or maybe in last summer, they finally started coming back online to take international orders. Had to work through a whole bunch of stuff, obviously. Even, you know, up to the beginning of this year, there were still issues with international mail and FedEx cutting flights because they can't fill their planes, and UPS not serving certain parts, and you know, the mail has to travel on commercial flights, and those are still sketchy in some places. So it's come to the point where it's stabilized. Finally, they're back offering international sales like they used to, and so I grabbed a couple of things, and then while I was going through the site, I grabbed a couple more things. So these are Taboo Design. This is Studio 27's verboten decal company, as I like to call it, because they make all these tobacco liveries and stuff like that, hence the Taboo. in them. This is for the 1989 Toyota Celica B-Max kit for the Australian Rally. It has all the decals that you need except the Marlboro livery. This one is for the 1991 Monte Carlo Rally, which again is missing the Marlboro logos and livery. This one is for the 1990 Safari Rally, which doesn't have so many Marlboro and logos on it, but the Kenya Rally is sponsored by Marlboro, so you need the number placard boards for that. And then the thing that I was actually ordering, because it just got reprinted, is the TA64 Safari Rally, which is a 1985 Safari Rally, I want to say it is. And they, again, didn't offer the Marlboro sponsored rally placards, so you have to order a fill-in sheet for those. Also, the 21 and the decal sheet isn't the appropriate Marlboro red. And so this was really what I was ordering, because this got reprinted. It says here for new, because the kit was reissued a couple weeks ago, or beginning of the year. It was right before we started doing monthly videos again, so it must have been last December. And again, it still didn't have these as part of the detail upset. Detail upsets for most Platts Nunu releases, Platts B-Max releases, when you buy the PE set, you can get the tobacco livery included. It'll be all split up and weird and upside down and stupid crap like that. But they come with these kits, because these two were literally the first two kits they released. I think this might have been the fifth kit they released, and then this was somewhere along the lines in there. Didn't have that option. So you need something from somewhere to do the proper livery. And then the other thing I picked up was this from Studio 27 itself, underneath their brand, and it is the Fairlady Z Detail Up Carbon set. Like most Detail Up Carbon sets that they offer for non-race cars, this is a carbon trim package, basically. You have a hood, roof, rear deck, rear spoiler, rear end thing. Basically, you can carbon fiber the car from the nose to the tail over the top. You also have this power bulge version here, which I kind of like a little bit better than carbon fibering the whole hood. And then there's a bunch of interior pieces, as you can see here. There's the center console interior piece, and then you have sort of the rear diffuser on here. The mirrors are on here. Flip over on the instruction sheet and you get a better idea of what I'm talking about. And while I probably, for at least for this version, I'm not planning to use the sort of over-the-top thing, or the fuel filler door being carbon fiber, kind of weird. I probably will use the rear diffuser, possibly the mirrors, definitely all the center console and steering wheel parts, and yeah, maybe the spoiler as well. Maybe the shark fin for the antenna. That might be a cool little extra touch. I have one more set of stuff coming for the Fairlady Z. I know I did a video starting the build with like a kit review. I have one more piece I'm waiting for before I can really dig into that. So at least this is in. So that is the media mix offerings. That'll move us over to Hobbyland Japan. I did get some decals from there too. I know you're shocked. You're totally shocked. You're sitting there on the floor. Pick yourself up. You're gonna get dirty. I got 3 sets of little itty bitty decal sheets from a company called Scale Model Creators. They are a very small Japanese aftermarket company. A garage company, really. They're not really a big producer the way like Studio 27 or some other companies are. And what these do is they're decals for the 4GT, the Tamiya 4GT kit, the new 4GT, if you will. It's out of production at this point, but the newest one. It's not the 2006, it's not the old 1960s version. But they did do heritage editions on one-to-one cars, giving tribute to those old original GT40s. And so we have decal set 18, which is the 1966 Heritage Edition, which is a black car with these decals on it. Then you have the decal sheet number 19, which is the Alan Mann Heritage Edition, which is on a red car. And then you have the Holman Moody Heritage Edition, which is on a gold car. And if we flip around the front here, you get an idea sort of what these look like. Black car with white stripes on the 66 Tribute. A red car with gold and white on it for the Alan Mann Tribute, and then a gold car with red striping for the Holman Moody car. There are wheels being made for these. You notice these Heritage Edition cars have Heritage Edition wheels. These are not the wheels that come with the Tamiya kit. However, those wheels, of course, came in right after, and I mean like a day after it left the building, day after I shipped out. So those will be coming next box, which, other than a set of photo etch license plates, I don't think there's anything else in that box. I don't believe I have any kits on order in May from Hobbyland Japan, unless the new Audi A4 actually shows up on time. We'll see about that. So that'll bring us to kits, of which we have 4. First up from Hasegawa, this is just a reissue. This kit has been done before a couple of times, originally back when it was new, and then it's been reissued since then. They've done another limited reissue of this car, and this is the 1988 season from a Porsche 962C from the Japanese Sports Car Prototype Series, here and after JSPC. And, yeah, this is an interesting kit, only because I didn't realize that you have to do a bunch of body modifications to this. The 1988 season, they went from using that integrated rear spoiler that you're used to seeing with a 956 and a 962 to using this big extra add-on high downforce spoiler. Well, Hasegawa, in its infinite wisdom, like they do with a lot of things, didn't bother to retool this kit for that. They just give you the kit as it comes. And this is these Group C kits are pretty basic, or like 60 pieces. But you have to come in here, and then you can see the outline of the body character line right there. You have to cut those rear wings off. I mean, at least there's a shape there. You're not sort of cutting, into the ether, and you're never going to see it again. But obviously, you have to cut these 2 integrated spoiler sides off and then smooth the body out in order to have it not look ridiculous. And then there's a set of holes you drill up through to mount the spoiler on it. Decal sheet, really basic. The From A Racing in neon yellow goes on the rear spoiler. These help cover up the front end of the headlights, which of course then means you have to try to match a color to that, so there's not a big significant difference between the two. And yeah, it's a nice decal sheet. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, let's see. The last time this decal sheet was redone was, what is that, April of 2017, but this is a fresh 2023 reissue, so there is that. Next up, we have the Tajay Max AE 101 1993 Intertech Race version of this Corolla. This does have the new wheel set included with it that they tooled up about 2 years ago to sort of expand the offerings of their AE 101 11 kits. All molded in red, as you might expect. And then again, your decal sheet here for the Tajay Max Modern Conveniences. It does include seatbelt decals, and something that's a little bit different about this that has been not been done on previous kits. It has some hood pin decals, and it has some trunk latch decals. It's got those rubber style ball latches to keep the trunk shut, along with obviously the regular instrument binnacle thing there. But yeah, those are a little bit new. There's a new add-on that, looking at other AE 101s I have, did not come with these cars on other versions, which is pretty cool because those parts don't come in this kit. So it's better than nothing, I suppose. Although you can obviously buy some PE pins and you can get 3D printed ball hitches like that. But it is what it is. This kit's, again, a pretty basic kit. I think it's 62 pieces. And I just like it because it is a unique car, sort of a one-off race, and fills a obscure gap in my collection thanks to Hasegawa's reissuing schemes. Speaking of Hasegawa reissuing schemes, you have this, which is the BP Oil Trampio, Team Trampio Skyline 1993 Intertech winner. Now, if you watched our April kit release video, you know this is the last GTR that ever won a race in Japanese touring car. In 1994, they went to the 4-door cars. The R32s went to Japanese sports car, Japanese Grand Touring Car Championship, JGTC, which, after a couple of twists and turns, would become what we now have as Super GT. So these were the GT 500 cars, the top line cars in the series, as they merged over there. But in 1993, this was the last year of Group A, and the GTRs, of course, won the championship again for the 4th year in a row. That domination of the R32 is really what killed Japanese touring car overall, because from 1994, the series only goes 3 more years. It's really only competitive 2 more years. 96, 97 is very minimal entries, not a lot of teams, and 97 is the last season, and that's it for touring cars in Japan until, again, you either go to Super Takio, which is the sort of the Group N factory touring, or you go to, JGTC with GT3 cars and the GT1 cars and stuff like that. So it's historically significant, both within Japan and sort of within racing history, that this is the last Japanese GTR winner, if you will. Kit is the venerable New Tool 2-year-old at this point R32 kit. Decals here have the same sort of additions, where there are some extra logos, and you have a little carbon fiber surround for the center console, which is new. You have some seatbelt decals. And I do like the fact they gave you the seatbelt manufacturer separately, so if you want to plumb your own belts, you can do that without having to cut the seatbelt apart to get those decals off here. And I do also like the fact that the BP logos are offered as a separate piece. Now these obviously are your let's see, do this in the proper order. These are your hood, your roof, and then your 2 side pieces. And you notice this little piece here is separate. That would be the part that goes onto the little aerodynamic spat right here. You can see, looking at it, that spat is raised up off of the actual rocker panel right there, and so it's very nice for them to split that, because in real life that is a separate piece. Or you can paint all that green yourself and just put the BP logos on the car. I think this Zippo lighter decal right here is for, or you can obviously just cut this one off the bottom of that decal, but that is for that. And hey, it's BP, it's Zippo. If you're ever going to build a Japanese race car that has recognizable U.S. sponsorship to it, even though, we're talking about British Petroleum, that's a pretty reasonable facsimile of something you might recognize as an American. And then the last kit we got is the brand new tool from Nunu, Volvo S40, British Touring Car Championship, 1997 Brands Hatch winner. So, 1997 British Touring Car Championship, Volvo comes back into the fray. You may recall Volvo being in British Touring Car Championship from the Tamiya kits that exist of the 850 Saloon and the 850 Estate, which ran in 1994 and 1995 respectively. 1995 is the last year of that car. Volvo bows out, comes back 2 years later with the new S40 platform. Only wins 1 race in 1997. Finished okay, podiums, stuff like that. I think Ricard Rydell was 4th or 5th in the points that year. 1998 car comes back again. It is the British Touring Car Championship for 1998 for the whole series. And then 1999 the car also comes back. And doesn't do real well in the beginning of the season, wins several races at the end of the season, finishes, I believe, 2nd or 3rd in the points again with Ricard driving all 3 years and then having different teammates throughout the 3-year period. Nunu does plan, from what I understand, to offer a 98 and a 99 version of these cars. These cars do have differences within each of those years. The front ends ground effects are a little bit different. The rear spoiler especially is a little bit different. I believe maybe the side ground effects, rear bumper ground effects are a little bit different as well. Overall basic shape of the car is the same, but it'll be fun to get those later ones, because while this is cool that it's a race winner, it's not the 98 car that won the whole enchilada. So we're going to do a kit review of this before we tear into building this. I know. I'm threatening to build something else that's... and I haven't finished anything else that I've already threatened to build. But there's a reason. We'll get into it when we get into it. But I also picked up the detail upset for this, which has your brake faces, your wiper, some intakes, a driver net, your seatbelt material. Obviously, your seatbelt material. Has a roof antenna included, and then it has 3 sheets of carbon fiber. This one is a Kevlar style carbon fiber for the seat and the underside rear suspension. Then you sort of have a exterior, and then well, it's kind of blended here. This is mostly exterior pieces with a little bit of interior pieces, and this is interior pieces with a couple of exterior pieces and chassis pieces. So it all works out in the wash, and yeah, very nice, which again we'll go into in the review. This decal sheet is nice and shiny. There was a thing with the BMW M8 that came out for the 2020 Daytona winter, where the decals were flat, which meant you have to put those on a car and then clear coat the car because that car is shiny, including the decals. These decals are shiny, so you don't have to necessarily do that. There are 3 decal sheets in here. One is the color. All of this, flip this around, color call out. All of the blue and yellow is on the decal sheet. All you have to do is paint the car white. This is the words, right? And the gauge cluster, the switches, your seat belts and stuff like that. And then there's a sheet of black decals. Again, I'm not going to go too deeply into this because we're going to do a whole kit review of it. But a lot of those black decals are replaced by the carbon fiber if you buy the PE set separately. Does come with window masks, and these are inside-outside window masks, except for the side windows. Side windows are inside only. You have to mask the outside, but the front window and rear window are inside-outside. So no more of that goofy black decals, which hasn't been a thing for like the last 4 kit releases anyway, but just as always a reminder, window masks in here now. And overall, yeah, this kit looks pretty nice. Again, without getting too far into it, it does still come with the cambered wheels. A lot of people don't like those wheels. I really don't. They don't bother me too much because throw on the bottom of the car and you're really never going to see them again. And then one of the bigger controversies, as you will, being British, is this grill. There is a grill being made by Fat Frog Models, which is actually the parent company that owns Hobby Easy, the online retailer. And they made a 3D printed one that is printed through, meaning it's open. Now, there are basically 3 reasons why I don't like that grill. One, from the promo shot, that doesn't look like it fits. Maybe it does in the production version, but the promo one didn't really fit. 2, yeah, blackwash. Anyone heard of a blackwash before? Like blackwash, hello. And then 3, the reason why you want to blackwash this chrome grill rather than buy the 3D printed grill, even though the 3D printed grill is only like $4, is there is nothing behind this grill. In this car, all the radiators are down in the lower fascia of the car, down in this area down here, which has mesh in the P for it, and I think there might be like the screen door mesh in here for that, or maybe it's just open normally, and there's mesh for the grills. But at any rate, your radiators are down low in this car. So if you get the open grill, you're looking into nothing. There's nothing behind this opening in this model kit, so you're going through. A sort of a 3A reason is the fact that this is chrome, right? So you have the taillight buckets, the headlight buckets, the mirror faces, and then this grill with the headlight, taillight buckets there. Just show them off while I'm here. So if you get the 3D print one, you got the chrome anyway. So I see the point. The bars are slightly thinner because you can do that with 3D printing. It's not something you can do really with injection molding. But I understand why this is not molded open, because it doesn't go anywhere. So you're going to have to create a radiator back to put the 3D printed one on, and you're going to have to chrome the thing. It's not a situation where on the car this is, white and they chromed it because they ran out of space. This isn't an AMT kit where they just chrome things randomly because, well, you need something to put on the runner somewhere. If you look at this, this is very clearly a chrome surround with the grill, being open or obviously blackwash, and then your radiators are down here on the lower opening. That's the only thing a lot of people, you have to buy that 3D grill. It'll make it look better until it doesn't. Just my personal opinion. I could be wrong, but I'm not. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed it, and we'll